Welcome once again to Survival of the Fittest is the soup du jour. That's why I say it. You know, it's the soup of the day. Are you surviving in 2022? Because I'm telling you, it seems to be getting harder and harder. I've been talking about restaurants having a hard time for a long time, since about like 2021, maybe around a year ago, maybe even a year and a half ago, about how hard it is. It seems to have gotten harder. Once again, is it a plus for us chefs? Is it a plus for the content creators out there who are talking about food? Is it a plus for the people who are out there cooking on Instagram? And we know a lot of them. We know a lot of these chefs that cook on Instagram. And they're doing a great job. Although, is it enough? Is it enough? Do chefs need to cook anymore? Do chefs even cook anymore for guests? Well, I can assure you they are. I have one of my ex-sous chefs, one of my chef de cuisines, Amin Mina, great guy, mexicano, que se fue a vivir a Puerto Rico con su familia during the building of the, I guess what was it? El Tren Urbano. That was an engineer, is an engineer. Good guy, good family, by the way. Just epic, wonderful family. But Amin was a young cook, would come from Caguas to San Juan to cook with me, cook with us, all my crew. And he became amazing. Not only did he learn to cook, not only did he learn to, the ritual, let's just call it the ritual of the kitchen, but he took it to another level because he's gone to New York to cook at the best restaurants. Now he's like cooking in the Hamptons, He's laying low now because it's winter, but during the summer he says, "No, chef, it is busy as can be." So, hats off to Amin, first of all. And going back to what I originally was saying, it's just like, you ask these different people that you have that used to cook for you in your kitchen as youngsters who are out there literally setting the standard out there in the kitchen world. And I can't help but be happy that I had something to do with that. Anyone who knows me knows what I'm doing now. Because you hear it. But that's what this podcast is all about. Sharing ideas, el momento, Puerto Rico, my life in Puerto Rico, my life as a chef, my life sharing how I believe after all right, I know it's going to sound shocking, something like 40 years in the kitchen. No, not that many, right? Let me do the math. All right. 38 years in the kitchen. And I have seen so many talented young cooks come through my ranks. To go on to win Michelin stars, to go on to run the best restaurants in the United States. And I'm not doing it to pat myself on the back. I'm doing it to pat them on the back. I'm doing it because they believed enough in what we were doing at that moment, as hard as it was, to move forward, to continue to follow that instinct that if you're born a cook, you're a cook. And if you're a decent cook, then you're allowed to even contemplate the possibilities of being a great chef. And I've often said, the best cook in the world turns out to be the worst chef in the world. To be the best chef in the world is not an easy task. And I'm still working on it because I still do my time in the kitchen. By choice. Not by choice because I don't need money. I always need money, shit. That's my thing. All right? But it's because I still love to cook. And even when someone needs me to do things that are a little more administrative and a little more, what I want to call not my thing, I continue to cook But that's what gives wherever I'm cooking that credibility. Not because of me as a person or as a chef, but because of the quality of the product given to the guest. And one thing I know that my chefs that leave my kitchens and go on to the great kitchens of America, the great kitchens of Europe, the great kitchens around the world, is that they take that from me. They know that I instilled values in them that were worthy of the best kitchens around. And I don't say this arrogantly. I say this to you humbly. I really do, because my angle has always been very humble. I was always tell these arrogant young cooks, what is your favorite dish? And they would tell me, oh, my mother's this and that. My tías esto y lo otro. My grandmother's empanadas. And that's where I would say, how dare you think you greater than your creator? You know what I mean? So in the end, I think people really realize that cooking is a very humble effort. You know, some chefs don't, and shame on them. Share the wealth with your cooks. Obviously, your guests get a lot of that. You know, they get 100% of your effort, but they don't know what goes on behind that plate. You say to yourself, okay, the plate, there it is, beautiful, wonderful, whatever you decide to put on the plate. But how did it get there? It got there from about 7:50 in the morning. 7:50 in the morning when your first chef opens the door and he starts to receive the product, the quality that you need to do a wonderful plate. Come 10 o'clock, you know, the staff's arriving, people are getting together, coffee, you know, talk, the shit we talk in the kitchen. You know, I don't know. We by the way, the kitchen saves the world every day. Okay, those are cooks. That's what we do. We save the world. Come 11 o'clock, you're about 30 minutes from opening. It comes crunch time. Garnishes, prep, butchering, everything. All your cooks are getting everything together. It's wonderful. It's a beautiful vibe. It's one and only, and those who know. This is what drives us. That's what drives me. Those moments, as simple as can be, are the reason why I wake up every morning and absolutely love my kitchen, love the ground that I walk on, that I kind of rush around. We've talked about toxic people. We've talked about this and that. Those things have effect on the kitchen, but in the end, it's that moment, that sacred moment. Come 1 o'clock, lunch is over. You're kind of winding down. Everyone's getting their wind again. You just had another mo-fucking heavy lunch. It happens. Hey, and I use those words because I want you to understand the intensity of what happened an hour ago. It was intense and wonderful. Come 2 o'clock. Your night cooks start to arrive. They start to do their mise en place. Mise en place, by the way, means my station, my prep, my everything. Mise en place is done. Night cooks, these are your jet set. These are your fighter pilots. These are the best of your best. Okay, your lunch cooks are always solid. Your lunch cooks are, you know, they're the people who at one point in their life might have been those jet fighters, but now it's different. So lunch is always a little bit different, but the night crew starts to arrive, and there comes your all-stars. They bring all their attitudes and their different angles, you know, and why this and why that. But in the end, that's who starts to do that prep, that elegant work. That mise en place that allows you to build spectacular plates for your guest. Come 6 o'clock, everyone's already had about 6 coffees, at least me. And chit chat has come to sort of just kind of like a let me be in my world. I'm just doing my thing, getting ready. We're about to get busy. Dinner, boom, bam, ticket. Tick, 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 tick. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They start rolling in, and everyone starts doing their thing. And then that magic sort of happens. That magic when the cooks look at one another and they don't need to even speak words anymore. When you have that kind of crew that don't even need to speak, it can communicate. It's what I'm talking about. This is wonderful. And then Full Metal Jacket. It's coming in deep. It's coming in tickets everywhere. It's like if you were just riding the 50, you are laying it out. It is real deal time. And everyone's doing their thing. We're doing 700 covers. And we're trying to do it as elegant and beautiful and dedicated as we would the moment we walked into the kitchen, the moment we accepted the position, the moment we decided that I wanted to cook for people. At that moment, we're putting out 700 covers, and it is rocking, and it is happening. The food is spectacular and beautiful. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. That's the magic that I try to share with you every time you tune into, this podcast. And that is why I want to share with you. I kind of go all over the board, and it's fine.